Now, we ought to mention Tracy. Was Tracy
Was she
actually
called Tracy?
writing songs
No.
with Stern Bops?
Did she?
Yeah, she did that one about Julie Burchill.
Which is bloody
and
good,
she wrote,
actually. I'm sorry, I'm
and
glad.
she wrote
Sorry,
the
Tracy.
theme
Yeah.
tune, Stern Bops. Wasn't that good, but she wrote that. It was one of her first ever songs. Yeah, she did write a couple, and she was. We all knew that she was a great singer, but she was a 16-year-old girl and was unconfident, and would even at practices would only ever practice if all the rest of us weren't in the room. You know, so.
That is literally true. Can we go into detail on that? The first time Ade went out with Tracy, you see, boyfriend and girlfriend, and the first time she ever had a Unidyne B mic in her hand, she sang from inside a wardrobe.
We had like a little songwriting session in my mum's bedroom, in the spare room of the house, and she would only ever sing if she was actually inside the wardrobe. But you know,
That's an amazing little bit. You see, you heard that here first.
No, what was amazing was getting the rest of the band inside the wardrobe.
But Mum would always go, "Oh, that Tracy, she's got a really good voice. Just get her to sing more." And I'd be like, "Yeah, Mum, we're trying," you know. But it's like she wouldn't have it, you know. But
I do remember her looking very cool on stage.
She's always very cool.
But as you say, always looking quite shy.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I
think that did work for Tracy. There were women punk rockers who worked on their aloofness allure, and I don't think Tracy meant it like that. It really did pay off for her. It really did. I've seen on some of her fan sites people who actually saw us at the time, and sort of said, Stern Bops, I knew who they were, but I noticed Tracy thought.
It was the history of rock and pop. There hasn't really been many women getting up and playing guitar, and so for her to even get up and do that, I thought it was quite a thing, quite a thing. So she didn't have any role models in it,
absolutely, I mean, like the Runaways probably weren't even known to us in a way in those days until they put that film out last year. Do you know what I mean? So, no, it was very brave of her. Yeah. Definitely.
So, will there ever be an original lineup Stern Bops reunion?
I really doubt it. Tracy's obviously keen.
Not sure Dave would ever come back, but we were involved in other bands at the time as well. That was the other great thing, that you could dibble and dabble. Ade and I were in a band with a guy called Marcus Bush and Pete Built, that you know. Absolutely. I was in a band called Carcadian Rhythm with Bruce Giffin, who I think you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And there's lots of things going on. We could put something back together.
Thanks.
Well, frankly, we're all going to be 50 very soon, so I think I for one, we would like to get back on stage and do something. Get maybe Jesse go involved and.
Who's a fantastic singer.
Before we die, just get up and have a performance.
Or immediately before we die.
well, if that might work here,
in order to die.
That, really,
A Stern Bops Toys hybrid.
Yeah.
Could make for an interesting Stern Toys.
Stern Toys.
It's there. It's there waiting to happen. So, just finally, we've sort of touched on it, but do you think, or what do you think, if anything, is the enduring legacy of that period? I mean, we mentioned it a little bit in the fact that of how it's affected St Albans as a town, but in broader terms, do you think it is something that at the end of the day influenced or changed things, and if so, in what way?
Who wants to go first?
I don't know. It's for me as an old bloke. I mean, it's interesting seeing like the Sex Pistols music being used for advertised Sky TV these days, and all adverts have sort of punk influence, like sound and stuff going on. I think it's a bit more boring now than it was, and I think a few years ago it was more. There was either potentiality there and possibilities that doesn't seem to exist anymore. But
I agree. I think we're now at the sort of punk hates itself point in a way.
Right.
This is the real rock and roll swindle now. But the legacy, the important part, is not so much what happened to punk sensibilities in music. The important part, I think, and I will talk about it from the local perspective, is that, St Albans was a country market town. This is what we forget. You know, in the late 60s, early 70s, we had cattle coming up behind Marks and Spencer's to be sold off.
Yeah.
You know, we're now more urbane in the nicest way. We are, okay, you know, as one of the favoured Thatcher communities, but we're quite a multicultural community now. The art, all the arts are considered not simply as a statement of social status, but as actually something important to the community. And I do feel that like the punk new wave scene back in those days did start that off and must have left a trace behind. And you yourself, Graham, were one of those manifestations of it, really. You know, you kept the faith all the time, and I think it's brilliant. You know.
Yeah.
Thanks. Brilliant. Ade Simon, thanks ever so much for coming down. It's been brilliant chatting to you.
Good. Oh, that's good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was.
Thank you.
Cool.